Great dialogue should give every character a unique voice.
Be careful, John, lest you suffer vertigo from the dizzying heights of your moral ground.
Which is why you need to know the tools and techniques at your disposal to make your character's speech reflect their unique backstory.
You and me, we're in a club now.
Motivations.
Hello. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
And personality.
Hey guys, you ready to let the dogs out?
The speech portion of the dialogue element is what most people actually refer to as dialogue. It indicates what the character in the cue actually says in the scene. And while there's plenty of craft that goes into writing dialogue, we're going to use this video to take a deep dive into the rules and formatting so your reader can fully understand and appreciate your words as your craft develops. As a reminder, speech is single space below the character heading.
That was a rough one. These little plates.
Or parenthetical if you have one at the beginning of your dialogue.
Hey, you're not gonna believe this. The pilot is from the same village as my grandfather in Bolivia. It's fucking crazy, right?
It usually has a 2.5-inch left margin and is no wider than 4 inches. And it's written in standard capitalization but does not include paragraph breaks. If you need to break up speech, you'll need to use a dialogue parenthetical or narrative description.
And why didn't they put the stage over there against that wall instead of over here by the bathrooms? You wouldn't have to listen to every giant bowel movement that takes place in there.
To horrified audience.
Oh yeah, clear as a bell. I'm sorry, I'm a little drunk. It's all gone. Everything I'd counted on is gone.
A guy comes out of the bathroom.
You feeling better now?
If you use narrative description, you'll need another character heading before beginning the speech again. If no other character speaks in between, you'll often include an abbreviation of continued in the heading parenthetical to indicate it's all part of the same bit of a character's dialogue. You'll also need to add a new character heading if your dialogue is split by a page break, since dialogue should never be orphaned from its character cue.
There was a bit of news I remembered, Mrs. O'Riordan. Dominic Kearney's father beat Dominic's census with a kettle Saturday, and it's staying with me and my sister Dominic is, so at least his father take a bit of a break from his beating of him. And him a policeman. Isn't that news?
While the continue is optional for dialogue split by description or parentheticals, dialogue split by a page break should always include a continued in the second character heading. Some writers also add more to the end of the first page, centered just below the dialogue. It helps during production where pages might get separated, but it's a bit redundant for a writer's draft. If you need your character to recite a poem or sing lyrics, there are a few approaches you can take. You could simply indicate something like singing with a parenthetical, suddenly singing.
Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me, for sure. That's what friends are for.
Some writers also italicize the dialogue for emphasis. You could also wrap it in quotes to indicate the character is reciting something. But what if the individual lines and structure of the song are important? One option is to simply observe the line endings of the original piece.
People are talking about people. I just ignore them, but they keep us saying we laugh just a little too loud.
Some writers also indent any wrapped lines 2 spaces, or put a slash at the end of each. Or you could just use the slashes without any forced line breaks. If the project is a musical, the lyrics are usually all capped.
Lights up on Washington Heights, up at the break of day. I wake up and I got this little punk I gotta chase away.
Dialogue is usually written as it's meant to be pronounced. This is why you'll often see numbers written out as full words rather than using numerals that open you up to multiple pronunciations. Quietly.
A2, A2, A2.
And when a character spells a word aloud, you'll usually see dashes between each individual letter.
Absquatulate.
Impatient. Quick.
ABS, QUA, TULATE.
Or periods when writing initials.
New captain alert! You must be the new CEO. I'm Detective Jake Peralta. Great to meet you.
No.
But you probably don't want to include periods for acronyms like NASA, since these are pronounced as a whole.
I know what the problems are, Henry. This could be the worst disaster NASA's ever experienced.
While acronyms and initialisms are fine to use since they're pronounced as written, it's usually best to avoid using abbreviations unless they are nearly universally known.
Mrs. Mannion. Excuse me, Miss Welton. George is here.
If you pick apart the dialogue in most of your favorite movies and shows, you'll quickly realize people rarely speak with the dramatic flair that characters do.
I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
But it's still important that your speech feels believable. To help accomplish that, it's common for dialogue to reflect the way real people talk, which means it's often full of incomplete sentences and other errors.
This is glass grade. And you got crystals in here 2 inches, 3 inches long.
Turns to him.
This is pure glass. You're a goddamn artist. This is art, Mr. White.
When it comes to dialogue, you don't have to worry about all the tedious rules your English teacher taught you. Just write the dialogue how you'd expect the character to actually speak, which includes indicating things like speech habits and impediments or dialects and accents.
I talk funny? You should hit you from my end.
The main character in the king's speech suffers from a severe stammer, indicated phonetically in his first line of dialogue.
For Mrs. Majesty.
But constant dashes could get a bit annoying to read over a full script, so a note is used instead. For the ease of reading, Bertie's stammer will not be indicated from this point in the script. Mentioning a character's unique speech in their intro has a similar effect. Her mother, Carrie, 50s, shakes her head. Carrie has a slight Chinese immigrant accent.
No, you can't wear that to meet Nick's Armand. Blue and white is for Chinese funerals nowadays. This symbolizes good fortune and fertility.
But if you need the reader to experience the specific sounds the audience will, then a phonetic spelling might be ideal. But for smaller moments of unique speech, a parenthetical might be all you need. Bad Greek accent.
Hello, I'm here for the small business seminar.
Foreign language speech is handled similarly, though there are about a half dozen techniques to choose from, which is why you should watch this video on writing foreign language dialogue to find the perfect approach for your story and readers.